Hi there, happy Friday. So maybe you are enjoying the good weather from the privacy of your garden, or you're having a little walk around the block or enjoying a cycle ride in this lovely sunny weather that we are experiencing right now. Or maybe you're stuck at home and you're feeling a bit disheartened by it because actually your house isn't quite right for you and it just frustrates you, annoys you, and you really want to get on with a project and you're in lockdown or you're in quarantine or you're self-isolating or you're doing what you can to manage the kids and work from home, and the house is really getting up your nose. So what can you do to prepare for getting started with your home redesign as soon as all this craziness comes to an end? So I'm going to talk through a few ideas of how you can prepare so that you can, as soon as you are able to move forward, maybe you're watching this several months in the future and you're no longer in lockdown, but you maybe don't have the finances yet in place, or there's some other reason why you're not quite ready to be able to move forward with your project. But these are some essential things that you can do now, and it's best to do these as early as possible and really get yourself in the right position to be able to take your project forward and really get a result that you are going to be really happy with at the end. So who am I? Well, I'm Jane. I'm a chartered architect and I am a specialist in helping homeowners of period property to make them into comfortable, characterful, beautiful homes that also protect the environment. So what you could do to start off with is start by listing out all of the spaces in your home and then writing lists against those spaces about all the things that you really like or dislike about those spaces. So what works for you, what doesn't work for you, how they're comfortable, how they're not comfortable, all the things you love and all the things you hate about your home as it is right now. And then the next thing that you can do is start to sort of track your habits and look at the spaces that you use all the time. Now, okay, if you're currently in lockdown at home, it's possible that you're going to be using your home in a slightly different way than maybe you would do normally. Maybe you don't normally work from home and you've had to create somewhere to work from home. And so perhaps you're using your space in a bit of a different way now. So that may kind of tweak things a little bit or distort the reality. But now that you've got a slightly different view perhaps of your home, it'll give you a sort of different angle about how to interpret what's right for you and what's not right for you in your home at the moment. And if you can sort of put together a realistic track of what you do in where, and then you can start to see, actually, we never even go in that room, or we use this room all the time for all these different things. And actually, we don't use that room, but we use this room. But that room's bigger, perhaps. So there are different things that you can start to do to actually maybe reconfigure or juggle around the way that you use the space that you already have, so that the rooms that you have, you're really bored at home. I'm sorry to hear that. So if you're kind of juggling those spaces around, move the furniture around, try out different ways of using the space. Sometimes I know people move into a house and they kind of put their sofa where the previous owner had their sofa and put their dining table where the previous owners had their dining table, and you kind of forced to live in the house the way that the people before you lived in the house. And you don't have to do that. It's your home, you can live in it the way that it suits you best. So move the dining table, move that comfortable chair to the space where you can get the view of the garden or whatever view you might have, or the sunny spot in the living room. Move things around so that it works for you. And I am currently working from home with my little one.
Can I have a banana?
They're not ripe, lovey. They're not ripe. But you go watch Ting Ting and I'll get you something in a minute, okay?
I want an apple.
So yeah, you may also be juggling working and looking after children right now and have all these different things going on. It's a good opportunity to really test your house because you're likely going to have to live in it in a slightly different way. You've got different pressures on the space that you've got. So move stuff around, try out different things. You can always move it back. There's nothing to be lost. Just going to give you a bit of exercise, lifting things from one place to another, and you can always put them back again. So there's nothing lost there. So do that. And then the final thing that I think is really the most important thing is do a bit of daydreaming. Imagine what would your real perfect life look like? What would be your dream life? How could you really see yourself living? How do you want to live in the future? And then think about your home, and if this, if your forever home, the home that you plan to live in going forward for the long term, then that future ideal life that you would really love to be living can happen in the home that you're in, but perhaps it needs to change a bit to be able to support you better to live that better life. So ask yourself a few questions. Ask yourself, why is it that you're not living your dream life right now? What is it that's stopping you? It could be lots of things that are not related to your home, like maybe you need to get a job that pays you more money, or I don't know, there's so many different things, aren't there, that could be that are reasons why you're not quite there living the dream life that you want. But when you start to think about what is it about your home that is preventing you from living that dream life, is it because you're lacking in the amount of space that you need, or are you lacking the right kind of space for what you need to be able to do that? And then when you're daydreaming about this fantastic life that you really want to have, think about the space that you're living in that helps you live that life. Imagine that space. How does it feel? How does it look? And what are you doing in that space, and who are you doing it with? Are you on your own? Are you with one person? Are you with a whole group of people? Those different sort of numbers of people, different activities, they all need different kinds of spaces. And then write a description of that space. Write out the sort of space that you can imagine is going to be what you need to live that better life. And then finally, if you want some of my help, I have a free checklist that I'll put a link in the comments below, up, down, somewhere, and you can get hold of a copy of that checklist, and that will help you to sort of start to figure out what it is you want. And then hopefully in a couple of months' time, when the world is back to normal or getting that way, then and we're not all bored at home anymore, you'll be able to start to move things forward with your project. And this work, this thought that you've gone through, this imagining time, this time of testing out different ideas and different furniture arrangements in your home, this time will have been time well spent that has really given you a good foundation to move forward with your home. I hope that's been helpful. If you've got any questions, please pop them in the comments below. I'll pop the link somewhere for you up in the description or in the comments so that you can get hold of a copy of that checklist. Bye for now.